this is the cloud applications, and this is the financials, and this is security, secure. So here you can find the security reference for Oracle Financials Cloud. Just navigate the same. Okay. Now, so you see here, this is accounts payable manager job level role. Always you can see the top level roles here. Top level roles means your job role and abstract role. These are two top level roles. Job role and abstract role. You can find here job roles, and somewhere you can see the abstract roles as well. These are contingent worker abstract role and employee abstract role. Player administrator abstract role. Very few we do have line manager abstract role. Other than you can find all the job roles. We will take an example. Accounts payable manager job role. Okay, the same you can find here. Accounts payables manager. You can see all the job roles are ends with underscores job, which is suffix. Which are suffix underscore job, which is ends with all the job roles. Always you can see two roles, two same roles with a same name. So you can give a precedence or preference to starting with the prefix vora, ending with suffixes underscore job. Whichever is roles, here you can see accounts payable manager, AP accounts payable manager job is a job code, and accounts payable manager and the job code which is starting with vora. You can identify the same and you can find the difference here. One is starting with AP and one is starting with vora. Always you are going to add a preference, or you need to provide a preference to your which is starting with vora. Just search with vora. This is accounts payable manager top level role. So here, this is a manager job role. Here you can find the description, the role hierarchy and duty roles, aggregate privilege roles, and data security policies. Mainly you can find here duty roles and privilege roles and data security policies. So for each job role, you can find this information. The same here you can also see. So this accounts payable manager role does have these many roles. Okay. There is a drop down is available in the actions here. Just navigate to the actions and try to edit the role. Just it's not possible to save your work on the standard roles. Simply you can verify what are the roles are associated with this job role. So this is a wizard. First is the basic information. This is role name, role code, and this is role category, financial category, and the job roles. This is predefined role. Okay. This is function security policy is nothing but all your duty roles and the privilege roles are associated here. Okay. These are all privilege roles. For example, here, this accounts payable manager job role. Now you can see here, this job role contains these many duty roles. Okay. These many duty roles. So here, import bank account is one of the duty role. Just try to copy the duty role and you can search here. Import bank account is not there. We will try to load all the roles here.
Yeah, between Vijay, one question though. Like
Yes.
we saw there are two roles with the same name. So
one is Oracle is
AP
referring.
and
Yeah, one is Oracle is referring for their internal purpose. Okay.
okay.
Always we need to give a preference for overall starting. That is our Oracle related job roles. Code bank account is not there.
But is there any harm if we assign the AP one?
No, if you assign, there is no harm, but you are not able to see the changes whichever you are expecting.
Okay.
Okay. This is payables, invoice, inquiry, one of the duty. Views for Oracle Fusion payable invoices. Just copy the same and try to search here. Why we are not able to see? Navigate to the role hierarchy. Here we can see all the privilege roles. We are here. It's clearly saying privileges. So here we are already everything you are able to see privilege roles. For example, this is my duty role. Against this duty role, again you have a privilege role. Just this is payables invoice inquiry. Now you can see here these are the privilege role section. Here granted role and the privilege role. Granted role is nothing but a duty role. This is the left side, you can see the duty role, right side your privilege role. This accounts payable manager role does have these many privilege roles. The same way you can see payables invoice inquiry. This is B2B message administration. Duty role contain these many privileges on the right side. This is collaboration messaging is not required. Customer account inquiry. Disbursement message process management. Yeah, if you see here, processing, period close, there is invoice inquiry. See here, this is payables invoice inquiry, your duty role from here onwards. Yeah. This is payables invoice inquiry duty role. This payables invoice inquiry does have two privilege roles. One is manage payable invoices and one is view payables invoice. When you assign this payables invoice inquiry duty role to the user, you will get in a two privilege roles. Two privilege, nothing but you will get two form access. Two forms access, one of the manage payable invoices and the view payables invoice. Okay, the same here you can find here. This is payables invoice inquiry. This is payables invoice inquiry, the duty role. Okay, you can see the payables invoice inquiry. This is the role code. You can find the Oracle AP payables invoice inquiry, which is ends with duty. Always you can prefer this one, the last one, inquiry underscore duty. Okay, which is suffix ends with duty role. Now this duty role does have two privilege roles, right? Copy the privilege role and just navigate to the function security policy. It does have your privilege roles. Just try to search the same. Or you can find from your role screen itself instead of here. It's taking too much time. Yeah, now see, this is manage payables invoices. Your, inherited from role payables invoice inquiry duty role. We are assigned, Oracle is assigned manage payable invoices, which is a privilege role from manage payables invoice inquiry duty role. Nothing but this payables invoice inquiry duty role is assigned within a role hierarchy section. So automatically you will get a manage payables invoices. And one more thing, view payable invoice. Just copy the same. Search the same. Now see, view payable invoice, again payables invoice inquiry. Again the same privilege role. The same privilege role is associated with another duty roles here. Payables invoice processing also does have view payable invoices. The same you can find here. Payable invoice processing. This is payables invoice processing duty role. So here we can have view payable invoices. We do have n number of options are available for this payables invoice processing. See here, validate, see again, this is payable invoice processing and view payables invoice privilege role. The way you can find the job role, duty role, and your privilege role. Okay. So if you want to add only view payable invoice privilege role to the user, I don't want to get an access for all accounts payable activities. Just I want to get an access to view the invoices only. Then you can go for add this view payable invoice privilege rule to the user so that you will get an access for only ADF form access, which is in order to see the invoices. That's it. When you add payables invoice processing duty role to the user, against whichever privilege roles are available, payables invoice processing, you will get an access by default for all the pages, whichever are associated with payables invoice processing, which is duty role. When you add the job role can contain n number of duty roles. All duty roles related access you will get when you add in a job role to the user. Okay. So the way you can find here roles, the same way these are all you can find as independent here. Just remove the same here. The same you can find here, payables invoice inquiry. This is payables invoice inquiry, and if you see here, this is payables inquiry or payables invoice inquiry underscore duty role, which is ends with suffix underscore duty, which is starts with ORA. You need to refer this role and you need to assign this role to the user. When you assign this role to the user, you will get an access for two things: manage payable invoices and view payable invoices. You get an access for two options: manage payable invoices and view payable invoice. Okay, so I don't want to add a duty role. I don't want to see these two options. I want to go for only manage payable invoices. Just select the same and you can add here. Just you can search the same. This is manage payable invoices. See, if you see here, manage payable invoices. Again here, AP manage payables invoice privilege. If you do not find two roles and if you are able to see only one role, so obviously we need to select this role, which is start with AP. If you are find which is starts with AP and ORA, then obviously you need to select which is start with ORA. So all the way, all the privilege roles are starts with their own norms. There is no ORA. Okay, this is privilege role. All the privilege roles are ends with underscore PRIV, privilege. Okay, so you can assign this privilege role to the user if you want to get an only payable invoices access. See here, this is the name, this is the code, this is description. Allow searching and viewing of the Oracle Fusion payable documents. This is how to find your roles: duty role, job role, page role, and how you can drill down from one role to another role. It's clear? Any doubts so far?
Yeah, Vijay. During work, these payable roles and users, how we can use this is only a security purpose or anything?
Yeah, this is for security, not the security purpose. For example, you are working with accounts payables. In the accounts payables, you will get a provision to create the transactions, view the transactions, and pay the payment process requests. So on, so ADF pages access we do have for each module. Okay. So as a developer, for example, you are there in your organization, you are a junior level, right? So you don't have an access for all the things. For your job, I want to add an access for only view the data. There is no create the data access for you. When you add an accounts payables manager job level role, nothing but a top level role, right? The manager role, nothing but the manager contain all the access by default. When you add accounts payable manager job role to your user, automatically you will get an access for everything. for accounts payables application. I don't want an access for all the things. I want to add an access for only view the data. The moment you can go for view payable invoices. You need to customize your role and add a custom role to your user only to view the data for your accounts payables.
Okay, then when we are means every time we have to these roles and privileges assigned, right?
Yes, every time if you want to add anything, if you want to see anything in the SaaS application, not only accounts payables, account receivables, cash management, order management, whichever application you are selecting, first you need to add an application access here. Then only you get an application access. Okay?
Thank you.
I will show you one by one.
Hi, Gopal here.
Yes.
For example, if we create 30 roles, custom roles, if we want to migrate to production, how we will do here?
That is, we'll discuss at migration stage.
Okay.
There is a configuration packages is there that is more into functional tasks. They will use the configuration packages and migrate these roles to the target instance. Okay. So this is
Vijay, one question. I'm Shripad. So if I want to create a custom role, let's say it is a pure custom role. So can I create one? Can I use one job role from GL and
yes,
some
can.
other roles from other models as well?
Yes, the reason yesterday I have shown one diagram, right? You can inherit from one role to another role.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the roles. Now here just you can navigate to the user screen. This user screen, you have a user account. The provision Oracle is provided a provision to create any users here. Okay. So if you want to see any created users, just search with, now we are logged with test user one. So this is my user. Now add user account, just click on user account. We'll try to create any user. So associated person type none or worker, just you can select the none. Since we are not an HCM application, HCM module, we are not implementing HCM. If you are implementing an HCM solution, just you can try to select the worker. As of now, selected associated person type is none. And user category, you can select as a default. And the first name, something GP10. And the last name, test. And you can use any Gmail or any email option. This is my user gp10.test username. If you want to nice to have, if you want to change anything, you can change here username, and this is my password. And you can confirm the password. So this is my user. Okay. So if you want to add any role, just click on the add role and try to add the roles here. So as of now, we are created. I'm trying to create one user. Just copy the username and this is my password. We'll try to create a user and we'll see how the application will behave without the roles. So what are the options we will get without the roles? Okay. Just try to sign out the application and log in with a new user. So something gp10.test. So this is my user. Just click on the home screen. Now you see, by default, without any roles, a plain user, an empty user will get an access like this. Analytics, documents, talent, Talio, recruiting, something social, getting started, marketplace, set preferences, and download desktop integrator and some of the custom tiles. So there is no much helpful this on the Springboard, right? For us, there is no application access, there is no tools, there is no configuration. None of the tiles are not available since we are not added any roles to the user. This is the Springboard. The same way you can see the same options to the navigator board here. These are the navigator boards. Okay, here the navigator mode, we can find the tools. Again, tools, we do not see anything here. Nothing is there, whichever is useful for us. Okay, and this is our settings and actions. Settings and action, there is no highlight flex fields, there is no edit pages, there is edit global page template, and there is no diagnostic section. So we do not have anything. Since without any roles, we cannot do anything against your user. Now we'll try to add one by one role to the user, and what are the options would be enabled for each role, we'll see.
It means user by user, there is a limitation using this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. For each user, whichever access you want, then you need to add the same. It depends on your user. Manager role can contain different roles, and if you are junior, right, you are a developer, you will have a limited roles.
Okay.
So again, this is our user. Just navigate to the home screen. And this is the tools. And this is your security console. And this is the user screen. Just search with our user. Did the same. So when you create a new user, okay, just try to edit the same. Now add the role here. There is a button add role. So here, when you create a new user, okay, first assign an employee role, which is an abstract role, or a per employee abstract role. Just you can go through the reference manual here, and you can say what are the options, what are the privileges, or what are the access you will get when you add an employee abstract role. What are the duty roles? What are the privileges roles you have? Just you can see we do have n number of options we may get when you assign employee role to the user here. So these are the duty roles. These are the duty roles, and these are the privilege roles. These are the privilege roles. For example, when you add an employee role, you will get an access HCM component, some fuse personal information page, so on and so. You will get all the access, some by default access you will get here. So one of the known access is there is a schedule process is there, which is in order to submit ESA jobs, that is you will get by default. Okay. Let's leave. You have n number of options are available. Just you can verify here. Just select this role and try to add role membership. Just click on the done. Now we are adding an employee abstract role to the user. Just save and close. Since this is a seeded role, okay, do remember this is seeded role. We are not customized any role as of now. Again, log out to the user. Always when you add any role to the user for the same user or for other user also, always you need to log out your application and log in re-login for the same user so that the changes will be effective. Okay, when you assign the same, when you assign any new role to the within the user, it won't change, it won't reflect automatically to the user. When you re-log in the application, then only you are able to see the changes. Since this is completely a metadata reference. Okay. Now we are adding an employee abstract role. So did we see any new options here? We are able to see
tools.
Procurement. Now there is a procurement category is there. There is no tools category is also available. You can see two new options, procurement and the tools. When you see in the procurement, you can see the purchase requisitions and my receipts. Nothing but your purchase order, your procurement application gets added by default when you add an employee abstract role to the user. Purchase requisitions and my receipts. You can easily verify the, in the same way you can see the my profile also. This is HCM related content here. The personal information, times and absences, pay, something current job, so on, so benefits, HCM related information by default you can see here. Okay, so still I don't want my profile, I don't want procurement. Okay, I need only a couple of details from employee abstract role. Simply you can customize your abstract role and you can add whichever you want. Okay, so that you can restrict or you can exclude, include whichever you want. Other than this, you can see the tools here. Tools you can have here, work, reports, analytics, and schedule process. When you add an employee role, by default, you will get an access for reports and analytics and schedule process. Schedule process is nothing but you can submit your ESA jobs. Once you develop a report, the report we will give for that report, we will provide a name, user defined name. The name we will register as the ESA job. Okay, that ESA job, nothing but at the last, the report will be executed with help of schedule process. So when you add an employee role, you will get an access for schedule process. This is reports and analytics. If you want to develop a BAP reports or OTBA reports, if you want to develop the both reports, OTBA reports and BAP reports, you will get an access with the help of reports and analytics. Just click on the reports and analytics. This is the browse catalog. Just click on the browse catalog. This is reporting server. This is your reporting server. Nothing is catalog screen. We call in general, we call as a catalog screen. Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence. Okay, nothing but your OBA application indirectly this is. If you see here the new option here, the new option we do have in generally, eventually we do have n number of options are available for your when you click on the new here. Since we are added an employee role to the user and we are not added any other roles, the reason only you are able to see the reports on in a execution mode only. There is no edit option is available here. See here, for each, these are the reports. There is no, you execute only reports when you add an employee role to the user. You do not get a privilege to develop a report here. Okay, do remember. Now, nothing but we will get an access for view, reporting views only. Now we'll try to, as of now, still you can see here, observe, there is no application access here. There is no application access. Now we'll try to add an application access here. So before adding an application access, first we will add a security console role. Indirectly, we will add a system administrator responsibility. The same how we are adding a system administrator responsibility VBS. Here also we will have IT security console role is available. When you add IT security console role to the user, you will get an access for security console. Just search with, navigate to the user screen, search with your user and edit the user. And here click on add role and just search with IT security console. This is IT security manager, which is starting with Aura and ends with job. One of the job role I'm trying to add IT security manager. Just click on add role membership and then done. So when you add this IT security manager, you will get an access for security console against your user, and within the user you can add anything. No need to switch to other user. Okay, just click on the done and just sign out the application and relog in with a new user. Now this is the tools. Now you can see the security console. Are you able to see the security console role here? Security console is not enabled. Still settings action would be same, and the navigator board and the tools. We do have security console. No. So the changes are not yet reflected here. Just click on the sign out and relog in the application. Tools. Now you can see the security console is enabled for us. Security console. If you are observed here, security console is enabled. When you add IT security manager, top level role, nothing but job level role when you add it, IT security console. So when you have in a security console, now you can play anything with your application. You can assign any user, you can create any user, you can create any customized role, you can add any role to the user. Okay. Now any changes in the settings and actions? No. Okay. The same options, you can see the navigator board as well. This is security console. Okay. Now here itself, we can add our users. We can add or we can enhance our user roles here itself. No need to switch to other user. Just navigate to security console and user screen, and still we do not have any application access, right? Now we are going to add one more role so that you will get a couple of generic application access. Just click on the edit, click on the add role. Here you can select with application implementation consultant job role. There is a role which is starts with Aura. Yeah, application implementation consultant job role. When you add this role to the user, okay, we will get in a complete application access for couple of generic applications like general ledger, order management, procurement, and human capital management, and something benefits, contracts, and settings and actions. It will enable all the options for us. This is application implementation consultant job role. Just select the same, starting with Aura and ending with suffix job role. Just add role membership. Just click on the done. Just save and close. Just click on the done. Now just relog in the application.
Customize this role. Let's say for only SCM, or let's say for SCM.
And after we'll try to add the same. Then after we'll try to add an independent application access. Still it is not reflected. So in order to reflect the changes, sometimes sometimes the changes will be reflected as expected, sometimes the changes will not be reflected. So in order to reflect the changes, just go to the schedule process. We need to import, we need to submit 3 ESH jobs, 3 standard ESH jobs in order to synchronize with your users roles related information with Oracle Identity Management application. Nothing but your whichever this security and roles is completely implemented with Oracle Identity Management application. Oracle Identity Management application is nothing but that is user related application, users and roles related application. Okay, IDCS application. Now, so for that, you need to invoke 3 ESH jobs in order to sync your roles to the user. The first one is send pending LDAP request with our standard jobs. And second one is retrieve latest LDAP changes. Third one is import user and security. Something is there. I did not remember exact name. Like import user and security role. Something is there. Similarly, we can verify. Now the first one is send pending LDAP request. So always, so what is Oracle is recommends before 19C version, when you add any standard role or when you add any customized role to the user, it's mandatory to run these 3 ASA jobs in order to reflect the changes against your user before 19C. These 3 steps are mandatory. These 3 ASA jobs we need to invoke in order to synchronize with your Oracle Fusion application to Oracle Identity Management application. These 2 servers would be synchronized when you invoke these 3 ASA jobs, when you add any custom role or when add any standard role to the user. After 19C, Oracle is recommends these 3 ASA jobs are mandatory when you add only customized roles only. It's not required for standard roles. It's not required for standard roles. It's required or it's mandatory for when you add a custom role to the user. Sometimes when you add a custom role to the user, when you relog in the application, it may or may not be, you can see the changes without running these jobs. Sometimes you won't see the changes. When you are not able to see the changes, when you add any custom role to the user, obviously need to run these 3 synchronized jobs, within the application and relog in the application. Obviously, you are able to see whichever customized roles you are added. Okay. Now we'll try to submit these jobs. Just click on schedule new process. Here send pending LDAP request, manage request to create or update users, roles and roles grants LDAP. LDAP server is nothing but our IDCS application, Identity Management Cloud Service. Just click on OK. You do not have any parameters. Even though if you have parameters, just leave it. Just try to simply submit your request. That's it. Just click on OK and schedule new process. And the second one is retrieve latest. And just submit the same. And import user and security. This is import user and role application security data. This is import user and role application security data. Import user and role data from LDAP and store in application security tables. Just try to submit the process. Just refresh here. You can see the ESA jobs here, whichever we are submitted. Send LDAP request. This is import user and role security data is still in a wait status. It's not yet running. Now this is running, and this retrieve LDAP changes and send pending LDAP request is in a pause status. Nothing but this is submitted a send prorated LDAP request. Couple of child ESA jobs, those are running. And this is retrieve latest LDAP changes, still these are running. So it will run as a background. Just try to relog in the application again. Our job is simply, you can, at least retrieve latest LDAP changes job needs to be succeeded. Okay. As of now, we are adding standard role only, right? So the changes will be effective without submitting those jobs. Simply need to multiple times relog in the application. Now see, we are added application implementation consultant job role to the user so that you will get a complete access for your SaaS application. See here the workspace, service application, my profile, my team, my workforce management, contract management, and the partner management, order management, procurement, cash application, product management, nothing but inventory. Okay, and the tools you can see more options here. and this customization activities for configuration is enabled. And when you see settings and actions here, and you can see all the options to the navigator board, the same whichever springboard options are there, you can see the navigator board. Nothing but when you add application implementation consultant job role to the user, you will get a complete access to the application, which is a generic applications, not all the applications. If you see, there is no accounts payables here, there is no accounts receivables here. The way only a couple of applications could be enabled here. So if you want to add an accounts payables, for example, here there is no accounts payables application. Okay, so I want to add an accounts payables application access here. Okay, just go to the navigate to tools, and here there is a security console. And here this is our user. Just edit the role. So on top of this, just you can add role. So as you know, if you want to add an access for accounts payable manager, so here Oracle is saying accounts payable manager job role, which is the manager role, accounts payable payment supervisor, payable specialist, payable supervisor. These are 4 roles, and accounts payable invoice supervisor. So those are roles are different when you add different job roles to the user. And the top level role is manager role. When you add manager role, you will get a complete accounts payable access, accounts payables module access. When you add accounts payable invoice supervisor, so when you compare with manager and invoice supervisor, there is a couple of roles are not available in invoice supervisor. Okay, so whichever roles is suit for you, just you can add the role. As of now, we will add an accounts payables manager role to the user, so that you will get an access for accounts payables application. Accounts payables. Accounts payable X is not available. Yeah, accounts payable manager role, which is starting with Vora, ends with job. Just select the same and add role membership. Click on the done. Now this is get successfully added. Just save and close. Just click on the done and relog in the application. And try to sign in. You do have accounts payables here. Procurement. It's not enabled. Simply we can invoke one standard ESO job in order to multiple relogins. Just go to the security console, sorry, schedule process, tools, schedule process, and try to invoke a retrieve latest LDAP changes. Instead of 3 ESO jobs, in your practice, you try to invoke these 3 ESO jobs. Try to invoke only one. Is more enough in order to synchronize, since it is a standard role, right? But in your practice, always keep on submit these 3 ESL jobs, so it would be practice.
Okay, and Vijay, do we need to submit those in specific sequence, or we can submit?
No. First is send LDAP, then after retrieve, then after import user, whichever same as written, right?
Okay. Okay, and do we have to wait for completion of first and then submit?
No, it's not required. Just you can submit and leave the application. In background, it will synchronize the application by default.
Okay.
Better to wait. At least retrieve LDAP changes jobs needs to be submitted.
Okay.
100% you will able to change. Otherwise, you can go for multiple logins. or if you give sometimes at least some interval, 1 minute or 2 minute interval, obviously it will add your changes. Now, yeah, now the payables gets added here. If you observe here, the payables application got added here. Here I have a complete access for payables here. Since I am added the top level role, which is accounts payables manager job role. Manager job role is the top level for accounts payables. So that I can have the complete access for accounts payable application access here. Payables dashboard, invoicing, payments. The way you can add independent application access. In the same way, if you want to go for accounts receivables, AR application, this is account receivables manager, segregate role, specialist role, and so on. And this is assets related, and this is expense auditor, something general account. If you want to add in a general ledger application, just you can go for general accountant and general accounting manager roles. If you add these two roles, you can get an access for general ledger application. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see the customized roles, how we can create a custom role. I want to see only invoices. I want to get an access for payables. I want to see only invoices data. Simply we can customize the custom role. How to customize the standard role? How can we create complete custom role? That is, we'll see tomorrow. For your practice, for your assessment, tomorrow, just hopefully everyone got an access for Fusion application. Hope everyone.
No.
No, sir.
Okay. No problem. Padma,
No, sir.
If you done the registration, Padma will share with you all these credentials, logins, information for Fusion application. Once you got the application, your assessment is okay. The same exercise we have to do. Create a new user and try to don't assign all the roles at a time to the user. Just try to add one by one role to the user, whichever we did, and try to observe the changes. What are the options are you are able to see? Just note down it so that it will be useful for your future purpose. Okay. In the real time, we did not get any access or any provision or any chance to get create any these roles and all. Okay. This is the time you need to practice. Just we need to know how to create the users, how to add the roles, and what are the roles categories and what are significance of those. As a technical, we need to know this information. But in the real time, we won't get any chance to work on this. This is pure functional onshore team task. If onshore team is not available, at your top level functional team will work on these roles and concepts, securities. Okay. Okay. For today, any doubts, any clarifications?